Welcome to the archives of legend and lore. It is me, the chaotic GM. Every week I will bring a monster, humanoid, aberration, or some other being to the gaming table and put it in the spotlight, so to say. We'll discuss some of the lore, the differences and additions, and possible ways to use them in your one-shot or campaign. This time, we're going to go over the scourge of every character that uses anything metal, the Rust Monster. Let's get this episode on the corrode. Let's start off with Pathfinder's version first this time. This 5-foot long and 200-pound monster attacks what the adventurers want most, treasure. It appears lobster-like, has 4 legs, a strange propeller-shaped end on its tail, and 2 long, feathery antennae. It consumes metal objects, preferring iron and ferrous alloys, like steel, but devouring even mithril, adamantite, and enchanted metals with equal ease. Any metal touched by its delicate antenna or armored hide corrodes and falls to dust within seconds, making this beast a nightmare to adventurers and NPCs alike. Rust monsters are not violent though, but have an insatiable hunger that drives them to attack and try to eat anything metal. Second edition Dungeons & Dragons has them at 5 foot long and 3 foot tall at the shoulder, and more bug-like, almost like a cricket except for the tail. It appears armor-plated and has a bony projection that resembles a double-ended paddle on the tip. 2 prehensile antennae are located just under its eyes. The hide is rough and covered with lumpy projections. Coloration varies from a yellowish tan to a rust red. They smell like wet, oxidized metal. They are not violent, and if you carry no metal, the worst you'll get is a sniff and perhaps a look. They can smell metal up to 90 foot away, though. That's like crazy. I mean, could you imagine you're swinging your sword and it's just like ringing the dinner bell? Their loot, though, if you should happen to kill one, is usually only gems, as they've eaten everything around the gem. You know, like the swords, the crowns. But, okay. I think the 5th edition Monster Manual has a great quote saying, "Most dwarves would rather face a squad of orcs than confront a single rust monster. Its body is covered in a thick, lumpy hide, and its tail has a bony protrusion. They have the antenna as a feathery sprout from its insect-like head. They are underground scavengers with a hunger for anything metal. They can smell metal up to 30 foot away and ignore those without metal." Now, on to combat. 5th edition combat gives them 2 attacks, bite and antenna. Bite is pretty self-explanatory, but antenna is used to corrode a non-magical ferrous metal object it can see within 5 foot of it. If it isn't worn or carried, it destroys 1 foot cube of it. That's 1 foot, a whole cube, 1 foot by 1 foot by 1 foot of whatever it is per round. If it is worn or carried, a saving throw can be used to try and avoid the monster's touch. If it touches the armor, it receives a -1 AC penalty, and that is permanent. And it stacks. That's like crazy. Oh yeah, that +4 armor you have, it's now a +1. Oh, never mind, it's just regular armor. But if it is a weapon, it takes a -1 to damage roll, and if it drops to a -5, it's destroyed. Wow, that sword you've been like killing things and saving up for, and it cost a whole lot. Yeah, that's gone. Sorry. In 2nd edition, they attack with their antennae, and that's it, because they lack a mouth with sufficient size to bite, maybe nibble things. Sometimes they will even pause in battle to eat, and that's a 30% chance. Oh, yeah, I corroded your armor and there's pieces laying around me, and you know, could we just have a timeout because wow, that looks delicious. If they hit, they rust metal also. Magical items have a chance of not being affected, up to 10% per plus on it. So say a +3 short sword would have a 30% chance to resist. Any affected item instantly dissolves into pieces that are easily eaten by the monster. Oh yeah, nice +5 Holy Shield of the Avenger. I'll dip in some acid first, then eat it away. Oh, the flavor. It has been aged to perfection. Oh, and any weapon that you use to strike the monster, if you hit it, yeah, it's got to roll too, or be dissolved. Okay, let's check in on Pathfinder. They allow them to bite, the elusive run, or rust. The antennae are the primary attack, and anything they touch will swiftly rust and corrode. The object takes half its maximum HP damage and gets the broken condition. A second hit does destroy the item. An attended or magical item can attempt a reflex save to negate the effect. Against creatures made of metal, it does 3d6 plus 5 damage. Now, let's see how we can use these little buggers in our campaign. Single shot, or attempt to get rid of that way too powerful weapon you gave that fighter. Yeah, sound like a good idea at the time? Now you need to get rid of it. Let's go to the Chaos Creative Corner. The first scenario I kind of gave away in the intro, so I'll put it at first. Ever wish that armor or weapon you gave somebody was just gone? Sure, it seemed like a great idea at the time. Then they lay waste to everything you send their way. Or maybe someone said they'd bring you a pop or a snack to the table and didn't. Or possibly someone drank your pop while you went on a bio. You know who you are. You know who I'm talking about. It's easy to throw a couple rust monsters at them. Let them munch away and just let out your best maniacal laughter. You're welcome. Enjoy that. The second scenario, the party is shown a vault of weapons and armor. It is truly a sight to be seen. Lord blah 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 gives them a quest, and if they are successful, they can choose anything from the vault. Do you see where this one's going? They save the damsel, the prince, or kill the baddie, and they come back triumphant. Lord blah 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 opens the door and lets them go in. Sleeping in the middle of the vault is a rust monster. The only thing left are wooden handles and gems. Yeah, and talk about gems, that one's a gem right there. For the third and final scenario, a strange summons has been sent from a remote settlement. Their citizens are disappearing and the officials are powerless to stop it. Please, Obi-Wan, please come to our aid. The city that's sent is actually full of warforged or some other metal race of beings. The inhabitants are going missing about one every other night. All that is left is a little bit of rust and dust. You get to fill in the rest of the details. But it's a small group, or maybe just one or two rust monsters, and man are they eating good. You could even make them more violent. Maybe they like chasing the prey and the thrill of the hunt. But if you vanquish the monsters, maybe you'll win the Warforged's daughter's hand in No. Just some good loot. All right, it's that time again. Thank you for keeping me company as I went a little bit deeper into my own chaos. You can always leave me a review to let me know how you think I'm doing or ways you think I can improve. Thanks again, and remember, if you are truly chaotic, your players will never know what you'll throw at them next.